Hello, my name is Matt.
That was so fake.
Hello, I'm Steve, and this over here is Matt. This is our first.
Something we've been thinking about doing for a long time is kind of a movie podcast, a movie show. This is tentatively titled French Matt Damon, the name of our blog, which we don't write on. Maybe this will get us to start. This first show, we kind of just wanted to let people in on who we are, tell a little bit about ourselves. So we kind of both came up with a bunch of random questions to ask the other person. I imagine we'll probably answer some of our own questions as well, because that's how we roll.
We probably only answer our own questions, and there'll probably be a lot of dramatic pauses. Our movie shelf is right over here, so we'll be staring.
Move that to the background.
Well, we should have just shot that way.
That way. I like to make things difficult.
But yeah, anyway, we came up with questions because we had a teacher first day of class who just asked us like favorite movie you saw over the summer, score, scene, etc., etc. So we're like, yeah.
And as he went around the class and asked people, we were like looking at each other like, what's he gonna ask us? What are you gonna? I know I would answer for that. I hope he asked me that. The guy you'll always come back to.
Once again, looking at the movies.
Sure.
I'll say first guy that came into my head was Paul Thomas Anderson. Just every single movie of his I've liked, even Punch Drunk Love, the one I liked the least, has grown on me since I've seen it.
I like directors who do their own thing at all times. Paul Thomas Anderson is obviously one of those. I like Baz Luhrmann, I think, is slowly becoming my favorite director. Because the movies are just so batshit insane. I love it.
Swearing.
I know, I went off.
Favorite writer?
Charlie Kaufman.
Is that the only one you know?
Yeah, no, it's not the only one I know.
Unique one?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of somebody else I could throw in. I think he writes the way I would want to write. Like, I think it's kind of a lazy thing to write yourself into the story, but he writes about writing himself into the story and how that's a lazy thing. It's really bizarre, and it's not as intelligent as maybe he makes it out to be. Maybe some people think it is. It's kind of easy, but whatever. I just made myself sound like I'm better than Charlie Kaufman on our first show, no less.
Setting the bar high.
Even like Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's an awesome dude. Writing's okay. He's just a cool guy.
What makes a movie good to you?
I'm glad you went with that one. That was what I was looking at. Because this is like a recent realization for me. What makes a good movie good to me is moments, like specific moments. If I can pull a moment from that movie and say that was great, the acting was great, the cinematography was great, whatever. But it's those kind of things that get me love a movie, to get me to watch the movie again and again. It's not like the full movie, I realize. It's just key scenes.
Looking back on movies that I have recently seen, it's the ones that there are moments that stick out to me. Like the end of Super 8 with him and his father looking at the water tower.
Yeah, I wanted that to be a bigger moment, is why I didn't like that movie as much as I wanted to.
Let's see, the scene in Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. I don't even want to spoil it. Like, the movie that made me realize that about myself was Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter, they're all good movies. They all look good. They're fine. The story's fun. But there's no moments in there that I remember off the top of my head. Like, people that read the books bring stuff up to me, but I didn't read the books, and I'm not going to.
I'll disagree with that.
Okay.
It was... You said there's one shot in there that's going to be most probably the best shot of the year. The first shot of...
This overhead of the school with the ghouls or whatever the fuck are hanging outside.
Yeah. But maybe spoiler, I don't know. But the scene where they're arming the school's defenses, the giant bubbles coming down, that with the score, like I said, I mean, it's a combination of things, that just got chilled. Like, that was the only time I like teared up in in that movie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, you would expect, hey, Harry died, you would be upset there. Yeah, but no, it was like, that feeling that I got.
I know he didn't really die. I know what's going on here.
Spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Harry doesn't die. Shocking. This is kind of relating to the last question.
Okay.
So, your favorite scene or moment in all of film? This is a question that people would get in our class, that we would always hope to get, but then we would realize we would spend a half an hour thinking about it. So we'll be back in like 20 minutes.
The biggest point to me with moments, I guess, or whatever, the first movie that made me realize that I go with it was District 9. Spoiler. At the end of the movie, when the giant spacecraft fires up, there's just that low rumble that...
yeah. It blows out all the windows in Johannesburg.
And then the mini transport shuttle going up or whatever. Just that whole entire scene, from that powering up to that machine connecting and eventually leaving, just... I don't know, shook me to the core. Just that low rumble throughout the entire thing, just seeing it power up, seeing all the prawns, like, looking hopefully at it. It was really well done for being CGI completely. Sure. I mean, and aliens that have, like, seaweed or something on their face, and would be able to get the emotion out of it. And that, I just totally lost it right there. That's a movie that you wished more people liked. Or saw, I guess.
In Bruges. In Bruges is such an obvious choice, because I think it's widely appealing, although my sister didn't really like it, which is weird. It's funny, it's action-packed, it's just really good. You have to see In Bruges. We should just watch In Bruges. We should post In Bruges on YouTube. That's a better idea.
I mean, going back to one of our early questions, anything by Charlie Kaufman. I mean, those are really not huge box office draws. I mean, Adaptation, the movie he referenced earlier,
Adaptation's awesome.
Without naming the name for some reason. But his biggest grosser at like $70 million, which, I mean, you see some of the crap these days gets that in one weekend.
Right.
So, I mean, like, being John Malkovich, even Synecdoche, New York, I thoroughly enjoyed the symbolism in there. It was kind of a drag movie, but you could see where he was trying to go with.
It is, like, he's definitely a hard writer to get into, though, and I can understand people not liking his movies. So it doesn't really bother me when I talk to somebody that doesn't. Although, everybody loves Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's true.
Either it was better than you thought, or it wasn't what you thought. Like, it doesn't even have to be a good movie. It was worse than you thought, whatever. Just surprised you. It wasn't what you thought it was.
Oh, man.
Movie that made me think of this question was Apt Pupil. It's a Bryan Singer movie with Ian McKellen and the kid that died, Brad Renfro, died like 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe he was like 10. I don't even know. But anyway, like, I think I've only ever seen Ian McKellen as Gandalf and as Magneto. It was so
wait. What's its name? Da Vinci Code.
Oh, that's right, he is in that. But he's basically like Ian McKellen in that movie. Anyway, he's like this Nazi war criminal that's being like blackmailed by this kid, and you see him do all these crazy, horrifying things, and it ends in a really strange way that I wasn't expecting. Like, the movie's not the best ever, it's kind of slow and kind of... it ends, the ending, like I mentioned, is weird, and it doesn't totally fit in with the rest of it, but it was interesting, and it certainly surprised me it was what I didn't think it was. What am I trying to say? I didn't think it was that, and it was.
Good point. Movie that came out this year that surprised me was Sucker Punch. I'm kind of a sucker for Zack Snyder. Oh my god, that's horrible. But anyway, Sucker Punch, horrible reviews. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, it's going to be flashy like his movies are, and it's probably not going to be good. But I really enjoyed it. You had a perfect point. It's him trying to do a musical. It's what Zack Snyder
doing a musical. Yeah,
it's what his musical would be. movie you're most looking forward to that's coming out later this year? I think it's probably going to be the same for both of us.
Later this year.
Or, I guess, in the future. I guess it doesn't have to be this year.
Trying to decide if it is that. That would be Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, right?
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, and definitely. Looks awesome. It's going to be great, I'm sure. I'm trying to come up with something better, though. Ides of March comes out next week. That looks awesome.
That's true. I guess we'll see how this goes. It's probably a little bit longer than we anticipated.
It's going to be a pain to edit. If we do this again, the only thing we have planned right now is the Oscar fantasy draft, which sounds fantastic.
Yes.
We can never figure it out. But other than that, I imagine, like...
movie reviews.
Yeah. Well, maybe not even stuff that comes out. Maybe if nothing good is coming out, we'll grab a DVD and do that. Mm-hmm. Or we can always do just random questions.
Yeah, or, I mean, we could do what we did with the Saw movies and watch a movie and do running commentary in the middle.
That's true. Or cooking show.
We do have
a cooking show.
3 cookbooks.
That's right. They're in the background like they're relevant to the situation.
But they're right in the center, too. We're framing them.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But okay, so thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Bye. Noticing how pale we are.
That's just a light. We should get like a shade or something.
Not pale. You're right. What was I thinking?